craziness worse. A lot of bad people from the case are showing up down here. Um, yeah, they're screaming outside. It's, they're not funny. Okay, getting back to what I was gonna say, sorry, I stutter. October 5th, Huntington Bank, Cleveland Avenue, 34th Street, Canton, corner. I had took a client and we went into Huntington Bank. I had sat in his apartment thinking of everything that had happened. If they want to follow me around, I'll sit and think of what they did to me or play my tapes and the witnesses up. A lady followed me and then a group of ladies right behind me and my client. I don't want Melissa getting anything. I watched her as she was thinking about what happened to her. She twitches. She said that's okay. They already knew they made everything up. They just didn't want anyone to help her. Tape and audio, Huntington Bank. 1:53 p.m. I check out. So I go about 5-10 minutes before there's a whole group of people they set it in front of. Yeah. Now earlier that day, we had went to McDonald's in Belden, and we ate a sandwich in the car. I went to pull out. Some lady walked out the McDonald's with a phone. What? They all helped because they all liked his girlfriend better. I'm so glad my client has no idea what's going on. We went into Macy's. I had to pick something up. We went into Foot Locker for my client. And then we went into Finish Line. Okay? It's October 5th this year. There's two men in there staring at me. Like this. Me and my client. I'm like, oh God, they're not here. Nobody pulled in after that lady did that. And they're staring at me. He picks up his phone. He's like, her ex-husband did what? That's not funny. They helped out. Why? That's not funny. I won't say anything to her today. And they're staring at me while they're talking. I get my client to leave. They follow behind him. He's the guy who put it. Boy, I was going to take care of her today. And then talk about waiting. So we're walking through the mall. We go to walk out Macy's men's cologne counter. We go to walk out. The Asian lady standing there with an older Asian couple leans in. I told these people stop saying stuff to her. I found out she's trying to help us. Tried to help her 19 and I got raped and tortured. Showed up at Masker's Park with a little boy. Can we have Karen now? The men are done with her after what happened to Daddy. I told you about the prepaid phone I bought to try to turn them in. Video statements, witnesses, where I got them of what happened and even Dave bragging about the gunshot night to Dixie. That at gunfire they went to the wrong house and that I was target practice. And then my statements. Told you about 1239 North Chapel screaming in the middle of the night. You can't beat a single woman by yourself. And about the rape and torture agent stalker and old fat white man involved between July and September 19. I did the tape May 28th, and I took it down to South Arcos. My attorney, in a package, I asked him to deliver. What's in it, Karen? I can't really say. Karen, I don't deliver those kind of packages. It have something to do with your husband. I'm like, maybe. I'm thinking if I tell him, he'll kill him. They've already killed 2. And they've tried to kill me, Dixie, and the baby. And I couldn't tell him. I don't deliver those kind of packages, Karen. I'm thinking how to get it to him. Dixie's crying until she passed out because she's so scared at that time. And then Josh didn't know what happened, so he made her be friends with him, so that he'd only threatened to have the police arrest him. So they won't tell him that he knows now because they don't want to get killed. Okay? None of this is funny. And then that agent followed me to Macy's, then my church, and where they sold the login clear across the nation. My church has 3,000 people. A lot of them have the login. That idiot shows up at Macy's. I go out, there's a lady holding bags. Offered to help her. Her car was stolen. She didn't want my help. She had someone coming. She didn't want me to wait. I went on to Faith Family Church. And I usually sit in the upper top part if I go at night. And comes in and goes, I had to arrest that whore. And there's like 1,000 people in the sanctuary. And the guy in my church went, what you did was considered rape. You leave her alone. And everybody's looking at me and him. And I'm tearing up and crying. And they're yelling about Dave and everything else. And then at Berry Cheese, 4 women in the main room. I worked there between July 23rd of 19 and September 1st. 4 women in the main room, 2 turn around. He said, if you open your mouth again, he'll do it to you again. I just wanted to stay quiet, or else. They told Shine 8:18, 4:42 p.m. 2 women standing there in front of people, taping audio. An agent was seen raping her with a stalker. She can have anything she wants. Nobody showed up. 8:27, 3:05 p.m. FedEx in Belden. 2 African American agents standing there. An agent said he raped her because she didn't call 911 on the gunshot night. But they're not mad at Dave for killing those men. Caught and taping audio on the house with the police and hiring an FBI investigation. How they murdered him and they're really dead. Yeah. And the guy scribbled in town over it. None of it, like they said, nobody finds any of this funny. Not a bit. These people are ridiculous, thinking that they can play a communist country down here and kill people. It's not funny. And then publicly humiliate them like it's North Korea and they're playing Kim Jong. Or playing a Nazi concentration camp. I need the chip out. I'm having extreme pains through my head. 12/21/18, stabbed in the neck and abducted. I have a dent in the back of my skull. I had a CT 3/13 of this year at Mercy Medical. You can see the wires and the crack. I have a dent in the back of my skull. I was out for 6 hours. The agency took responsibility at Altman Hospital 3/13 this year at 2:53 p.m. We're here for Karen's World Agency chapter. Is that why she's here? A bitch looks me in the face. The agency wanted the tooth that I did. I'm like, shut up, it's outlawed. U.S. Supreme Court, 2005 11th Circuit, 18-10134. Outlaws everything. Let's see. Oh, God of heaven. In the back at 3:13, I tell because I have swelling and pulling in the base of my skull. I said I may have a chip. I don't want to say I had a neural chip. There's an agent standing outside my room, some damn bastard neural chipped her. He's like, we already know. They're hoping to kill me for the young blonde girl. Memorial Day weekend 2019 food counter for at Walmart, 62. Old white woman, African American man. For it's my daughter husband dates. He met her in Ravenna when she was having a stomach spell. It's for my daughter they did all this for, and our family watching her down here. And for who's Karen's rich boyfriend, but the state of Ohio who protects her. I'm at the register and she's yelling it at the food counter for Walmart here. Memorial Day weekend 2019. They looked it up. It's Michelle's mother. They can even find the 2 African American agents with dreadlocks at a self-ready register. Looked at me and said, "We stayed out the gunshot night because Dave's girlfriend's so much prettier." And the guy running it didn't blame us. And a white-haired guy with gray hair and a gray mustache at Wood Forest. We had backup, and they let those people die for that girl. They said none of this is funny. They're actually dead. I faced 6 stalkers. Almost got shot in the head driving going down to John's house one day. The Ravenna courthouse, undercover police. I'll verify it. Massillon police will verify I'm innocent. There's real cases. State cases called Karen around the house. And the FBI case, the guys were calling it Karen's Craig after my brother-in-law, Craig, that died. But then they said they changed it to Karen's Will. As they walked around me. I was in Mercy Medical October 2nd, just a few days ago. There were some of those young kids that harassed me from the case. One girl is saying, she knows Henry can't come in and see her in this hospital. They talk about a Henry around me. Okay? I keep putting my earbuds in so I can't listen to them. Well, I end up talking to this one lady for a little while, and then she goes in the back. And they go to walk out. Will's not interested in you. Will's not interested in her because she couldn't get over being raped. Tape and audio in front of people. I check out by early the 3rd of October. Yeah. It's the 2nd, and, you're there overnight a little bit, waiting to get seen. Real funny. Some young kids, blonde girl. There's a dark hair guy and old lady. Oh, but outside, you'll like this one too. I went outside to smoke to have a cigarette. There's a lady out there. And she said, she's an informant. I help watch her at night. And these people are lying on her to an officer. They tape outside Mercy Medical. He said, well, make sure no one says anything to her then. See, Flora already read them out, October 23rd, 2019. Of course, it never happened. Of course, it wasn't true. We made it up. It was a game of pretend. The agency already told me they caught Melissa lying, how stupid she was. And the worst thing I ever did wrong was bend over improperly. They could wipe that one out. They only made fun of the back of my knees, June 19, Liberty Health Share of Lindales Road. Oh, God of heaven, and the only thing they have on me is adjusting myself. Wiping water off with clothes on. Some guy yelled it out after I left Mercy Medical. It's the truth. The only thing they got her on is wiping toxic water off with clothes on. None of this is funny. Because they already know Dave drugged me before and told me to say something stupid, and so the church people. And everybody knows they don't use sodium pentothal on people. Why? Because you lie under it and it's lethal. They thought they'd run a stupid spy flick thing while they try to kill me. False confession, sodium pentothal. Questioner gets whatever it wants, right or wrong. Just admit to everything. And then it has all these false confessions. Okay? And then false memories. And then it's lethal. And the FDA prohibits any use in humans, and it's not allowed to be brought in the United States because it's lethal. They use it in lethal injections for animals, humans, and anthrax. Yeah. And it even says it's spy flick stuff. I woke up with black and blue marks on me. FBI don't break in and stab people with needles. They talk to you like you're a human being. You have the right to remain silent legal representation. If one can't afford one, one will be appointed to you. And they've used people's low intelligence to fool them. Trying to kill me. I need somebody to show up here. I'll tell you what. Monday we went to Walmart. I took my client to Walmart on West Tusk. 2 girls come in and said, they were laughing. We seen what she wrote headquarters. Well, doesn't have enough balls to take care of this. And they were laughing. Somebody's to figure out what's going on down here. And I keep trying to get my client to get away from him, so he doesn't figure out what's going on. And somebody near me said it was Will's mean kids that were making fun of her in the hospital. What the hell? I figured they were Michelle's friends. Michelle's supposed to be an agent's daughter. There's supposed to be a Lauren and that big boot girl. They want me to die for love sacrifice. They've already killed 2 and crippled another. I think the murder spree down here needs to stop, don't you? Even the male nurse's house next to 4490 John Thomas in Ravenna would tell you they tried to grab me the next day after the shooting when I ran from him. There's witnesses, there's tapes. Like I said, they sold the locket across the nation to disgrace me for their daughters. They're running this like a concentration camp. None of this is funny. Someone needs to get down here. The hospital said if they take the chip out now and the swelling, my brain will go back to normal. It comes up government chip. Louisville police already said something to me, and I can't officer. And it hurt like hell when that dye hit it. I've had dyes with CAT scan. If you could go into Mercy Medical's CAT scan department, you can see they cut the wires in the crack. Louisville police were at a different building. Look over at me and went, she's got a government chip. I'm like, shh. Canton officer walked by his phone and he started reading my information. I'm like, oh God, go away. I should not have to die for one of their daughters to get everything and for them to get a high off of killing people. This is our nation's disgrace. They're running it like a concentration camp down here. Thinking they're funny. They knew Dave drugged me before. They were part of it. They knew the church people did, witnesses thereof. The building before mine, second apartment, already talked to several people and said they even talked to people today. The lady on 1295 Fairlawn, middle apartment, she's already screamed at him. It's not funny the church people broke in before, drugged her, and told her to say she's a weirdo monster. That's not funny. Then Wendy's crew, May 25th, was talking about it in front of my other old client. And a bunch of people in town calling them bastards. And then my old client told Jim and Brian he knew about it. It was too dark for him. It's common knowledge I was drugged and framed before, including that idiot that tried to have me murdered and caught on tape and audio. Not drugged. How they murdered those people around Christmas of 18. There's a police report. And they said none of this is funny. They're dead. Please come down and help me, Sid.